Good morning. I am going to take you on a typical Monday for me. Well, I shouldn't say typical because on this particular week, I had been sick the previous week and the house was a complete disaster. Things just started piling up. When you have a large family or even just a family in general, you know that if you're not keeping up on the everyday to-do list, that things can easily pile up and get totally chaotic. And so most of us were sick. My husband was holding down the fort the majority of the week, and although he gets a lot done, it's still a large task to be able to get everything that needs to be done to keep the house tidy. And so on this particular day, as you can see, things were really behind and the dishes were really behind. And so we are going to work hard to get it all done. When things start to look like this, I tend to get really overwhelmed and just shut down and not want to do anything. And so I had to make a list for that day of like, okay, this is the thing I need to get done right now. This is, just kind of take it piece by piece and not look at all the things I needed to get done, but rather, okay, right now I'm going to do the dishes. I have 10 minutes. I'm going to crank it out and get a load started. And then I'll worry about the rest of them later on. Especially with the dishes, it can be a little bit challenging for me because I can't have my baby awake at the same time because he likes to play in the dirty dishwater. And so I have to put him on my back in order to get anything done. I usually try to wait till nap time to do the dishes, honestly. And so they might be sitting there for a little while. I also, on this day, needed to get some sourdough starter going because we had no bread, really not a whole lot of food in the fridge. And so I needed to start prepping some of that and then get all of the laundry done. So much laundry. And so I just really need to tidy up because, as you know, when you're sick, tidying doesn't happen, or at least it doesn't for me. And so the blankets are everywhere. The kids did an excellent job when they were feeling okay to help clean up and, put some things back together. But, there's just a difference between a kid clean and an adult clean, And so we really just needed to reorganize, recuperate, and get things where they needed to go. Another thing that I find really helpful when it comes to keeping a clean house is to focus on the main living areas. So for me, if my kitchen is dirty, I think that the entire house is dirty. Even if everything else is clean, if the kitchen is dirty, to me, it feels dirty because that's kind of the main place that I spend a lot of time in. I want to make sure to have that area cleaned up. So with the laundry there, having those main areas cleaned up just makes the whole house feel clean. The bedrooms could be dirty, but I won't see those. But I do see the main areas all the time. So make sure to tidy those first. This is very random, but on this particular day, I I felt really sick for over a week. And so one thing I do that is kind of like a just for me kind of thing is I put fake eyelashes on. This has been a game changer in my life. It has made getting ready so easy. I literally just wash my face, maybe put a little concealer on at the bottom, put my eyebrows on, and I'm done for the day. It will take me 5 minutes to get ready. And so I use Flutter Habit lashes, but I hadn't worn them all week from being sick, and this just made me feel so much better. You just feel put together. I feel like it makes everything else go smoother. It makes you feel a little bit more confident and you can do a lot more for that day. And so there's just a little tiny hack for you if you want to get into the whole false eyelash type thing. My daughter still wasn't 100%, so I'm taking over her chore of doing the chickens in the morning. And we have this nice little movable coop that we use that we can kind of move around the yard so that they get fresh grass and they're pasture raised. But at the same time, they're not getting out and pooping everywhere and getting into your landscaping and ruining it all, or eating your vegetables. This has been really nice, and it's really easy to move, and we can just throw them in there and lock them up, and then at nighttime they'll go back into their regular coop to keep them safe from predators at nighttime. since it is a Monday, I need to plan my week out. This is just something that is like a hands down I have to do. Sometimes I do it on Sunday nights. A lot of times I do it on Monday, where I need to document exactly what needs to be done for the week. I am basically running 2 businesses. I homeschool. I have to keep on top of the homestead, the garden, the life in general. And so planning out my week, trying to plan out my meals, doesn't always happen, is really essential. And the easiest way I have found to keep myself organized, because I am not a naturally organized person. It is not my strength at all. And so I keep really important things in my phone with alarms on them. And then I keep like a daily to-do in a calendar. That way I have both, but I need the alarms on my phone, so if we have any appointments or anything, I have it right there. And so I won't forget, because I have to schedule 5 other people's schedules. I have to know exactly what's going on with all of their activities. And so this has been my easy way of keeping track of things and not forgetting. For lunch today, I did something really simple. I just took leftovers. We had leftover rice, some leftover chicken. I took some frozen green beans, and I mixed it all together, heated up with a little bit of butter or oil, and then I added my absolute favorite sauce, which is the Japanese barbecue sauce, the best prices at Costco. Added that, and this was so delicious and really easy. This is a pretty typical lunch for us. I like to utilize leftovers because I want to eat real food, but it's also kind of complicated to always be making things from scratch all the time and a lot of dishes, especially when you don't have a microwave. And so this is an easy way to eat real food, eat healthy, and not feel like I'm always just cooking in the kitchen and doing dishes. Which is ironic because I'm showing you me emptying my dishwasher. I feel like I am constantly doing dishes. I mean, one of my son's chores is to empty the dishwasher at least once a day, but we are running the dishwasher at least 2 times a day, sometimes even 3. And so if you have any tips to how to not do that, how to not use so many dishes, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. In almost every single one of my videos, I feel like I'm making a latte, and I haven't been making them very often, but my daughter had asked to make a green tea latte on this day, and so that is what we did. And it's super simple. Just make green tea or any other kind of tea, add a little honey if you want to it, and then top it with frothed milk, and it's really yummy and a nice little pick-me-up for the day. All right, next up, I wanted to make some sandwich bread so that we could make sandwiches or toast throughout the week. And I have created a new recipe over on my new blog, which is called Fresh Milled Grains. And this is a fresh milled whole wheat sourdough sandwich bread. It is amazing. It's so fluffy. You wouldn't really tell that it's like whole wheat. It doesn't taste whole wheat to me. I mean, it has the flavor of whole wheat, but it's so soft and moist. And so that's what I'm making. I ended up using coconut oil this time because we had 0 oil left, and I really needed to go to the store. But I had some coconut oil, and I used that. It was not my favorite. I prefer something more like olive oil or avocado oil, something more mild tasting, because you could definitely taste the coconut, and my kids didn't really like it all that much either because of that, but it worked. So if you like coconut oil, you could definitely use that, but I would suggest something else, something a little bit more milder. And it's really, really simple to make. You just add all the ingredients to a stand mixer bowl and then let it sit for like 30 minutes to autolyze, and then you're just going to let the stand mixer knead the dough until it hits the window pane test. This is when you stretch a little bit of dough between your fingers, and you can stretch it enough where you can see through it without it breaking, and that's how you know it's done. A little break to sip my tea and then prepare my brain to get on with the rest of the things I need to do. I don't know if anyone else does this. I need like 5 minutes to just sit, be still, have no one talk to me so I can get on with all the rest of the things I need to do. I have never denied that being clean and tidy is my specialty. It is definitely not. And so I have to prepare myself to be able to clean and tidy the house, because it's just something that needs to be done every single day, multiple times a day. And so I am organizing some seeds that I recently purchased. I'm getting ready for the year and all the seeds that I'm planning to use for the next year, which I'll go over that in a different video later on. And just cleaning and tidying the kitchen while I wait for that bread to autolyse. One of my favorite things about sourdough bread is it's very hands-off typically, and there's also some waiting periods. So I know I have about 30 minutes. I can do a quick clean of the whole house in 30 minutes while I wait for the bread to soak in all of the liquid, and then once I need to start kneading the bread, it's like setting a new timer for me. So I'm like, okay, I know it's going to take 10 to 20 minutes to mix up the dough. Why not fold the laundry really quick and see what I can get done? How much can I get done in those 20 minutes? On this day, though, I decided to make some sourdough pizza dough with some fresh milled grains, which is also on my new blog, so you can check that out in the description box below. And I love having pizza dough in the fridge or in the freezer for pizza night. You can easily double this recipe, and then that way you have like a month's worth of pizzas. We love doing pizza. I even love taking the dough, and then the other day, like, all I did was put some cheese and some lunch meat on it and bake it, and it's kind of like an open face sandwich that the kids enjoy. So I'm making that while that other dough is mixing. This dough can auto-lyse, and then I can just switch it out, and I have one less dish to clean, since I can just reuse the stand mixer bowl and the dough hook, and then I don't have to wash those twice if I decided to do it on a different day. So I always am trying to do at least 2 baking projects at one time. Here's just me showing what the window pane test looks like, and you'll want to do this for the pizza dough as well. Pretty much any dough that you want to be softer and fluffier, you're going to want to do the window pane test. Even doughs like a boule, if you are doing a crusty loaf, you can do the window pane test with this as well. It just shows that there's enough gluten development to make it be able to capture in air and be nice and fluffy. It's kind of a really key feature for making bread. So if your bread isn't turning out, that could be why. All right, I am just putting this in a nice warm place for it to rise. And then I'm going to do more dishes. As I wait for the pizza dough to autolyse, I'm going to finish up my dishes, put them away, and clean the sink. I just feel like my kitchen is not clean unless I have everything put away. I have the sink completely cleaned out and that's scrubbed out, get all the gross stuff out. It just does not feel clean. And then my house doesn't feel clean to me, because unless my kitchen's clean, the house isn't clean. While dishes do seem to be kind of the bane of my existence, I actually thoroughly enjoy doing them, because it always brings me back. It always helps me remember just like how blessed I feel that I am able to stay home with my kids. I can make real food from scratch, and that I have tiny little mouths to feed. And I think it's a good reminder when there's things that we don't want to do, like laundry or dishes or whatever it is, that's something that we dislike that may not be our favorite, that there can still be joy and beauty and a blessing in it. And so I really don't mind doing them. I just wish there was less of them. The pizza dough autolyse is done, and so now we will get it start kneading, and this will take about 10 to 20 minutes as well. So it gives me another little burst of energy to get everything picked up while I wait for that to finish. I don't know about you, but it feels like my kitchen countertops just collects everything. They collect all of the little crafts. It collects all the little treasures, and it drives me kind of crazy. Like, why does it just collect? Everyone just throws stuff on there. So I'm trying to get better at getting this clean and keeping it clean, and not just being a dump zone for everything. So next I noticed that a lot of the appliances looked like they needed just a little wipe down, and then this kind of was like a give your mouse a cookie moment, where it started to drive me crazy that I could no longer see in my oven when I turn the light on. I will admit that I have literally never cleaned this. I have never cleaned the window into the oven, ever, and we've had this stove for a few years now. It's a little embarrassing. But I wanted to get this clean without using harsh chemicals, and I didn't have anything on hand. So I just what do I have? I have baking soda, I have dish soap, I have an all-purpose spray, so that's what I'm going to use. And then I sprinkled that on, let it sit for a little bit, and then I ended up using a steel wool to really get the gunk off, because it was baked on. I bake constantly and never have cleaned this, so that doesn't give you an idea. And then I just wiped it off with some paper towels, and it wasn't perfect, but it definitely worked, and you could actually see it inside the oven. So that was a big win. So this is actually the next day. I didn't want to leave you hanging on the bread and the pizza dough. I had let the dough ferment at room temperature at night, and it wasn't quite ready. It didn't have doubled yet, so I ended up throwing it in the fridge overnight, so that way it wouldn't over ferment, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a pause. And so the next day I did let it come up to temperature a little bit longer until it about doubled, and then on a oiled countertop I just shaped it, and then I try to add some tension to the loaf, and that way it really helps it poof up a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to add tension when I'm shaping by dragging it across the countertop, and then I'm going to put it back into the loaf pan that's lined with parchment paper, let it rise for another hour to 2 hours, sometimes longer if your house is cold, which mine is very cold. You could also stick it in the fridge for up to 15 hours or longer. And then once it's about doubled in size, then you're going to bake it for about 45 to 50 minutes until it's golden brown and has reached the internal temperature of like 190 to 210 is usually what is recommended. The hardest thing with learning to make bread is just figuring out timing and when things are doubled so they're not underproofed or overproofed, and it'll take a little bit of time to just kind of figure it out. So don't give up if it doesn't work out the first time or things aren't right. You can always turn this bread into something else if it doesn't work out for you, but usually it still turns into edible. So this isn't quite as soft and fluffy as it normally is. I must not have let it rise just quite enough, but that's okay. We'll still enjoy it and we can still use it and feed our bellies. So now with the pizza dough, I am cutting it in half. This makes about 4 smallish pizzas, and I like to stick half of it in the freezer for a different day, and then the other half I either use right away or you can stick it in the fridge, and you can stick it in the fridge for days and then use it whenever you want. It definitely gets tangier. I had recently pulled one out of the fridge. It's been there for probably about 3 days, and it was very tangy. So if you like that sourdough flavor, definitely stick it in the fridge for longer. And on this day, I made pizzas and I realized I didn't have any pizza sauce. So we really just did olive oil, cheese, and then I had some fresh basil on hand, so I added that on the top, and it was delicious. A lot of times I will add thinly sliced zucchini, pepperoni, or sausage. Really whatever toppings I have on hand is what we use. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed these recipes and just kind of take you through my day and how I am keeping the house clean and resetting after illness. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and find any recipes in the description box below.